Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. I hope everybody is having a fantastic day. I know I just woke up everyone with that introduction. But yeah, so today we are having a show, an episode on this channel named Apostate Prophet. And here we will talk about Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh, who has recently been gladly liquidated, and or you could say taken out, eliminated, retired, expired. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Thrown in the trash, dumped.
Unalived. That's what
unalived. Okay, fine. Let's say unalived. He was a very, very interesting, austere scholar and moderate voice of Hamas, of the peace organization Hamas. And today we want to, of course, see some of the reactions to his death, his recent killing. And yeah, before that, what's up, Kyle? How you doing?
On behalf of Apostate Aladdin, I have to say, just imagine a poor Muslim jihadi who tunes into this show right now and sees a beardless AP and thinks it's a young boy. Think about the desires that would be aroused in this jihadi. And whose fault would that be? AP's.
That's a very good point. It's a very, very good point. Very good point. And this is actually a
That's
point.
why I wear a mask at all times, so I don't arouse the jihadis in their nether regions.
Nether regions.
That was dumb.
It sounds kind of sophisticated.
Mm-hmm.
This is actually a very interesting observation. The funny thing is, I don't really like going around without a beard, but I have been wildly traveling the last 2 weeks back and forth here and there. I was just coming back from visiting you with the family, and then I get a message saying, "Hey, are you available this Friday for Timcast Culture War?" And I'm like, "This Friday? Yeah, there's only one day between this and then, and I'm currently driving." Yeah, sure, yeah, I'm available. So I brought the family home, immediately departed, didn't have the chance to get anything done, flew over, and woke up in the morning in the hotel room, look at my face and think, what am I supposed to do now? So I just thought, you know what, I'll just do this. So I just shaved everything off. That's how this happened. Anyway, and then I went to Tim Pool and had an interesting conversation.
And now thousands of jihadis are unable to control themselves.
Yeah. And I did this deliberately to sexually arouse all the Islamist men, because I like to make things difficult for them, you know?
Yeah, and plus it's a good way to get them to tune in to watch our shows where we expose their heroes and stuff. Then they tune in, they're like, "Ooh, I come for the AP, but I stay for the truth." I come for AP's smooth face, but I stay for the factual information about Muhammad and the Quran.
That is absolutely true. This is actually a meme that goes back to a Turkish Muslim preacher. Isn't it crazy? Like everything weird and messed up comes out of Turkey.
Everything. And nothing good has ever come from there.
Yeah, everything that comes out of Turkey is messed up, questionable, weird, whatever you want to call it. Very, very strange.
And back in the day, people understood it. And as a symbolic gesture towards this evil country, we made sure we cooked and ate a bird that we named after the country every single year.
That's a good point. But yeah, it was actually a Turkish preacher who said that let me pull up this article. It's quite funny. Who said that men who walk around without beards may cause confusion because they might be mistaken for women, which could be very arousing. So this guy here, who of course,
see that beard? No mistaking that guy for Pamela Anderson or something, right?
Yeah.
You know that's a man.
When you scroll past this, if he didn't have a beard, you could think this is Kim Kardashian, but since he has a beard, it's now clear that this is some guy named Murat Bayraklı. He says Turkish Islamic preacher says men without beards cause indecent thoughts in other men because they look like women. Men should grow beards. One of the two body parts that separate men from women is the beard. Oh,
Wait,
interesting.
two? I can think of three right now.
Yeah,
I can think of
yeah.
three without the beard.
Yeah. This is quite confusing.
And if you're
What is
talking about internal, I can think there's even more. But
I mean, you could talk about the difference in the anatomy of each, but I don't know, man. I don't know. This is very, very fun, very, very interesting. This is just the Islamic mindset, but they probably know best. So who are we to judge? Who are we to judge? Allah and His Messenger and this idiot here knows best. So, Kyle, what's up? How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Let's see. Sheikh Mike Wingelinch said, "Jokes on you, puss. Houris make the best falafel." Yeah, somebody was saying that Ismail Haniyeh is probably having the most amazing falafel experience in Jannah right now after he was martyred by the oppressive Israeli forces. Terrible,
You don't even like falafel.
No. I had it only once in my life, and I thought it tasted like garbage. I don't know. Maybe I need to try it again.
I'm okay with falafel. I have a pretty lame palate. Like I'm fine with just like ramen noodles and peanut butter sandwiches and bologna sandwiches my entire life. So I don't really taste much of a difference. But you got the Arab falafel, and then the Israeli, and then the Druze falafel, and the Israeli and the Druze falafel is supposed to be green on the inside. And the Arab, well, just my experience when I would get the Arab falafel, it would be like brown on the inside. And everyone said, no, the green stuff on the inside is good. And I can't tell the difference, but I pretend that I'm like, oh, look, this is the good stuff right here. Look at that green on the inside.
That's the good stuff.
So I pretend, man. Everyone thinks I'm like this falafel connoisseur when I really can't tell the difference.
Yeah, Irish Rhubarb gets it. What David was saying, 3 body parts because he's like counting left testicle and right testicle.
Yeah, they're separate.
Yeah,
someone can have one, like AP's hero.
Yeah, Hitler. So anyway, Islam is so insane. This is extremely Islamophobic. Please remove yourself from the space at once. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing because someone said, "Who's that cutie beside David?" And then I was thinking there could be a Cuties Part 2, but starring you without your beard. And it would be Sneako's favorite movie, his next favorite movie.
Man. Shake my wingling beardless AP looks like he could beat some women up at the Olympics. Man, come on. I don't know if I want to get into this whole discussion now because it's so funny. I haven't been saying anything about it, and I'm just sitting there and thinking it's so funny to me that everybody has an opinion on this topic, because initially everyone misunderstood the topic, but then they still wanted to continue talking about it. But anyway, so Ismail Haniyeh was finally genocided. David, what did you think when you found out? For me, it's very obvious. I started partying. I started laughing. I was like, this is amazing. This is such a fantastic day. You, of course, as an upstanding Christian, probably thought, I will pray for this man or something. What did you think, David?
What, after he's killed?
Yeah.
No, it's a situation where we're supposed to love our enemies, but we're supposed to love everyone. And if this guy's working behind the scenes to slaughter people in the name of Allah, you of course hope this guy will change his mind and repent and turn himself in and all these things. But if he doesn't, you got to take him out for the sake of all the other people that this guy's going to continue to kill. And that's life.
So what you're saying is that this guy was totally innocent and Israel shouldn't have killed him. And
I'm saying he totally got what he deserved. I say that as someone who hasn't gotten what I've deserved. I deserved much worse. And so again, you would hope that he would recognize the error of his ways before he gets taken out and just go turn himself in and do his prison time and face whatever justice there is. But if he's not going to do that, he needs to be taken out for the well-being of other people that he is going to kill. That's how it works.
Let's look at some of the reactions that the media gave. Here is there were some interesting developments when Ismail Haniyeh was killed, such as Sky News. They said this.
Photograph doing that. So he was also considered a very moderate leader for Hamas. He had survived previously.
No.
He's considered a very moderate Nazi for the Nazis. Wait, what? Himmler was a very moderate Nazi. Leading. What a dork.
To be honest, she says for Hamas, so maybe maybe she means by Hamas standards he was quite moderate. You know?
Yeah,
and that's like, you know, Hitler was by Nazi standards quite moderate, because there were some people who were significantly worse than Hitler.
Extreme.
Yeah,
and this ISIS jihadi was moderate. He only blew up 100 people, whereas others had blown up thousands. So he was the moderate, very moderate, and shame on anyone who took him out.
That's the funny thing about the Nazis. My favorite topic, of course. So people often suggest that Hitler was one of the worst people to have ever lived. There were actually people in under his command who were probably significantly worse than he was. For example, David just mentioned one of them, Heinrich Himmler. That guy. I don't know if he was something like the face of evil. He was really, really messed up, and he was also the main occultist guy who suggested creating this dark future Germanic empire where all the weak are destroyed and only the strong survive, and I don't know, really messed up stuff. But and
then they got into all this occult stuff, and they did these rituals, and then they actually got a demon to come through a portal, but fortunately that demon was converted to Catholicism and became Hellboy.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. And then some of them also fled with a machine that they developed secretly to a new planet, and others went over to Argentina, including Hitler, where he is still hiding to this day. So
No, when you were just talking about Argentina, it reminded me a German class. This is 9th grade German class, and we had an assignment where we would have to find an article on a German topic, right? So find an article on a German topic and then write a summary of it and include the article. So I went to like the National Enquirer to an article about Hitler's ghost being seen in Argentina. And then I would write it on that, and they would say, "Don't write stuff from the freaking National Enquirer." So you'd respond. But every time we had a writing assignment, I would find some like ridiculous, stupid thing to write about. Those were good. I totally forgot about that too. You were just talking about the Argentina thing. Anyway, Hitler's ghost in Argentina, ladies and gentlemen. It was there.
Yes. Don't cry for me, Argentina. So, Hamas chief Ismail Haniyeh killed in Iran as Gaza war tensions spiral. There were some people who have said, as a result of this,
and breaking tonight, Hamas says the head
who said, as a result of this assassination, that this is an escalation by Israel and that this might only make things worse. Even Joe Biden said that the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh might not be productive for the peace process, for a ceasefire solution and all that. And I don't know, at this point, whatever Biden says is totally irrelevant, since he basically declared himself unfit for another term. Which just raises the question, why is the guy still in office? However, him saying that it might be unhelpful and might harm the process of reaching a ceasefire is just, again, a display of how his administration is not at all helpful with the current war that is going on. It has been said from the very beginning that Israel's aim is to destroy Hamas, take them out, make them surrender completely, dismantle Hamas, after also returning all the hostages or all those that can be returned. Israel never agreed that they would eventually have a permanent ceasefire with Hamas and then seek further, negotiations and seek some solution with Hamas at play. And they also promised half a year ago that all the Hamas leadership responsible for October 7, all those who approved of it, who were part of the planning, who who were on top of it, all of them will be assassinated. Israel will come for all of them. Israel said long time ago that these people in charge of Hamas shall not rest. They should be afraid wherever they are, because they will be taken out. So Haniyeh had this coming long time ago.
Yeah, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. If you have a country screaming, death to Israel, 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 and hundreds of thousands of people all gathered, death to Israel, and you're the country that's killing and molesting women for not having a rag on their heads and so on, I don't know. I'm not sure too many people are going to weep when someone takes out a terrorist in your country.
Well, lots of people are in different places. This was the original Reuters article, which said tough-talking Haniyeh was seen as the more moderate face of Hamas. They later on changed this title because people were like, what in the world? Why in the world would you even put this title there? And the thing is, there was one aspect which is true, which is that Ismail Haniyeh, compared to some other figures within Hamas, he was seemingly a little bit more reserved in the things he said and the things that he, I don't know, directly did, or that he was directly held responsible for. However, this is the problem. Hamas has an international face and a face in the Arabic-speaking world. Hamas has an English-speaking face that seems more diplomatic, and then a face that speaks to the Gazans directly in Gaza. Hamas is a terrorist organization that from the very beginning has vowed to eradicate Jews, to fight the disbelievers, and to establish a caliphate where it is an obligation for the Muslims around the world to join in on this fight. Whether the person in charge of this terrorist organization is now a reasonable-ish looking guy or a complete nut job on the outside is completely irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. If the Nazis had the Nazis reformed their party and brought a leader who was very, very soft spoken and all that, it wouldn't have changed a thing about who that guy actually represents, what he actually represents, what he leads, and what the party stands for. So there is no sweet talking, no sugarcoating any of this. This guy was the head of a terrorist organization, and he was very much equivalent to Osama bin Laden with Al-Qaeda, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi with at the head of ISIS, and so on. This guy was responsible for genocidal intents, for mass killings of Israelis, of Palestinians, and he also said some really, really messed up things. And we want to come to that.
You know, the more I hear about this terrorist leader, the more I don't care for him. Kind of sounds like a real jerk.
Yeah, a little bit. David Collier put it very well. He says, the BBC, Trump is a racist extremist. Boris is a racist extremist. Netanyahu is a racist extremist. Also the BBC. Ismail Haniyeh, the leader of a proscribed Islamic terror group, is moderate and pragmatic. Yeah.
Good point there.
Alhamdulillah. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. And we, after the killing, we also had protests in the middle of America, in New York. This is in New York, Times Square, a protest after the killing of Ismail Haniyeh, where this woman, Nardine Kiswani, stands up and shouts in support of Ismail Haniyeh, and here's what she said.
Israel, we know you! Israel, we know you! You rape children too! You rape children too!
It's funny, you rape children too, like acknowledging that you do it.
Yeah. Well, you do it, but you do it too!
Everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it. Stop condemning us.
Yeah.
Stop condemning our prophet for raping a little girl. You do it too. Everyone's doing it. This sounds like Daniel King. Well, everyone's doing it. Everyone's doing it. How can anyone say it's wrong? Everyone's doing it. Everyone's banging. Remember what he's saying? Oh, come on. Have you been to a second or third grade class? They're all banging each other, man. It's these big orgies among second and third graders, man. That's why we got to marry them. And we if anyone's going to bang them, it'll be us.
Yeah, it's well, it's 13-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds. They are already beginning to, experience sexually. So why should I not be allowed to marry a little child of 6 years of age? Basically, same logic here.
Mobilize the Intifada! Mobilize the Intifada!
From New York to Gaza, globalize the Intifada. The Intifada, ladies and gentlemen, is where two major series of events that took place in Israel, where the Palestinian side called for a complete uprising against Israel, where basically everything was allowed. Everything goes. Suicide bombings, stabbings, mass shootings, throwing grenades into public buses, women carrying bombs with them, asking for help, then blowing themselves up, body parts all over the streets of Israel, violence, mass violence everywhere, all justified in the name of resistance. The Intifada. That's what it was. That's what the Intifada is. Of course, some people might say, "Oh, Intifada is just a reference to protest, just uprising." We know exactly what Intifada refers to. Intifada here, within the context, specifically is a reference to the Intifadas, the first Intifada and the second Intifada, and Intifada in general, which we have seen in the past, and it is brutal, it is barbaric, and it is something that only savages would advocate for. And these people here are in New York and actually say, from New York to Gaza, globalize the Intifada. How about from New York to Gaza? You just get the hell out of here, I don't know. Follow the path of Ismail Haniyeh after his death.
They should change Intifada to Intifaza. Intifaza, so it rhymes better.
Oh yeah.
From New York to Gaza, globalize the Intifada. That sounds better. I am your Faza. Your Intifada.
Globalize the Intifada!
So there is no God but Allah, la ilaha illallah, and then the martyr is beloved by Allah. The martyr, Ismail Haniyeh. Reminder that this is taking place in America, in New York, with these pro-Palestine protesters, who, of course, whenever we talk about them, we are told, oh no, it's not Hamas supporters, it's just Palestine supporters. Not Hamas supporters, they're for Palestine, they're free Palestine, they're just against genocide and against apartheid and all that, You have here Islamists going out there, or so-called pro-Palestine activists going out there in New York supporting explicitly a terrorist organization that is a jihadist organization, quite similar to ISIS actually in their beliefs and many of their actions, openly demonstrating on their behalf, mourning the death of their leader, making this very clear. Here is the issue that I have with the West. In other parts of the world, this kind of stuff would not be accepted. This kind of stuff would not be. They would not get away with this. Authorities wouldn't let this slide. But in the West, this is just like, oh yeah, they're protesting, and this is they are protesting for an illegal terrorist organization that we recognize as a terrorist organization. But yeah, it's bad and stuff. Whatever.
When someone's saying globalize the Intifada, they're calling for mass destruction and chaos and terror. That's what they're calling for. And they want it all over the place. And it's basically, we're going to throw one giant global tantrum until everyone does what we want, and everyone does what we want, and Israel ceases to exist. And until that, we're going to throw one giant tantrum, one giant violent tantrum. And so guess what? That is, I don't know. That could be considered crossing the line of free speech here, even here in the U.S., depending on, you'd have to figure out what they mean. Maybe they have a, no, when I say intifada, I mean something completely different. But
I mean, honestly, I feel like there is this idea that certain rights established in Western liberal democracies were meant for Western people who have the virtues that matter within the context of these cultures, and that might not be suitable for people to whom this culture is a little bit foreign. This reminds me of a family friend actually in Germany, a friend of my parents, a religious Muslim, Turkish origin in Germany. He said one day when he was talking about the German police, he said, "You know, the problem with the German police is that the German police is good for the German population. The German police does not know how to deal with non-Germans, with Turkish criminals or with other criminals, because Germans are different. When you give Germans certain rules and they understand those rules, and you can enforce those rules, you can enforce the law in a more reasonable way. People from another culture, like our culture, the Muslim culture, the Turkish culture, they don't function quite the same way. And when you have a German police that is only trained to deal with German citizens, they will not be able to really handle Turkish criminals, and you will have a problem in the end. Similarly, when you have this whole concept of freedom of speech, all of these liberal ideas, I feel like all of this stuff doesn't really work very well when you have a very ungrateful, invasive population that comes here and that doesn't like the freedoms, that doesn't like free speech, that doesn't like human rights, that doesn't like liberty, that doesn't like liberalism. They come here and exploit it and use it to destroy the very culture that has been established here. So maybe, since the West has made it such a thing to accept people from all kinds of different cultures, maybe the West should change their approach to freedom of speech and to all of the freedoms that we have had so far. I don't know. I feel like I can't believe what I'm thinking and what I'm saying, but I feel like maybe it would be better to curb some of these liberties and to change things up a little bit, because it's kind of it is a little bit detrimental.
Yeah, there you have it. Immigrant comes into the U.S. and starts telling us how to run things. You heard it? You heard it, everyone? This is what they do. Turkish immigrants. Hey, this is how things have worked for you for centuries. Now let me come in here and change them all. I've been a citizen for like 2 seconds.
Yes, because with me, you also invited a lot of other people from my culture, and I know that those people from my culture do not want to abide by your way of things. And I appreciate your way of things, of doing things, and I want to preserve your way of doing things, which is why I'm telling you, you have to change a few things. You know, right? You have read The Republic, but you exactly know what I mean. Actually, I think you even agree with me to an extent, don't you?
Yeah, here's the weird situation. It's the same thing we've been saying a long time, where you have this giant window of time where you can deal with things completely peacefully and so on. And even right now, I think you could completely wreck Islam entirely peacefully. You still have some pockets of problem people to deal with and so on. But as far as the ideology, I mean, just imagine politicians and journalists, and every time you turn on the TV, actual facts about Muhammad and the history of the Quran and the history of jihad and so on are just bombarding everyone. I think Islam is so fragile as an idea. There's a reason they flip out at the slightest hint of criticism. It's the most eminently mockable and easy to expose ideology on the planet. That's why they have to flip out and use a mixture of threats and claiming victim status to keep people silent about it, to where there's just a few people who are exposing Islam, and the vast majority, every every massive power structure with massive influence is proclaiming how great and wonderful Islam is and how wonderful Muhammad. If you actually took away that advantage and everyone was just bombarding the ideology, I think the ideology collapses almost instantly. With that said, there's no way that's going to happen because people are a bunch of brainwashed cowards. And so, yeah, it's just a fact. You're going to, if you cannot control yourselves from within, then you're going to get chaos, and then someone is going to control you from without. So what you're saying, AP, is let's go ahead and fast forward it. Someone needs to step in and exercise fascistic control over the population.
Now, what I'm saying is what Benjamin Franklin and many of the founding fathers have said, which is that only a virtuous people are capable of freedom. As nations become corrupt and vicious, they have more need of masters. Or George Washington said it even more. And I'm not sure how much I agree with him on that one, but I think he has an approach that even includes more like that virtues, including religious ideas, are essential to preserve what has been established, and that without the very values that they cherish, that the founding fathers cherish, things will go down the drain.
And by the way, that was pretty much the argument. It was rulers keeping people in line are necessary depending on what kind of people you're dealing with. If you have a virtuous people who can self-regulate their behavior, they can regulate their own behavior, we do not need you constantly telling us what to do and coming in and crushing us and silencing our speech, things like that. We don't need you doing that. And the idea was we've gotten to a point where we don't need the tyrant controlling us anymore. So get rid of the tyrant. He's no longer needed. But they all said, go to the founding father. They all said the exact same thing. This only works for one type of people, a people who have a kind of collective communal self-control. If you lose that, you can't have the freedoms. You can't have the freedoms because you will use the freedoms for chaos to produce chaos over time. And then given the choice between chaos and order imposed by a tyrant, you will choose the order imposed by a tyrant over the chaos. And so that's what you're going to get.
Yeah, that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. We also have a different
because democracy basically means
it's the pauses that make it awesome.
Government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded. So let us say, government by the retarded, for the retarded, of the retarded.
He could have said that in 8 seconds and he drew it out to a minute.
I know.
Oh,
especially the most unnecessary thing about here is the final gap here at the very end. It's so obvious what you're supposed to say.
Yeah, we all know what's coming, and I was like, wait for it. That's what's funny. There's something funny about people like he's some guru then saying it's of the retarded. Reminds me of Geert Wilders when he says, what was it, Danish? Was this culture Danish? Dutch or Danish? Which Dutch? Yeah, when he said Dutch culture is superior to retarded Islamic culture. And the reporter goes, "Beast. Did you just call Islamic culture retarded?" That was funny.
Beast. I have a good recommendation for these people, and this is only in their best interest, is because I want to help them. How about get out of America and then become a martyr without harming anyone else? You know, because since that is what you value so much, how about go join your friends over there, whom we call martyrs, and also become a martyr without harming anybody else, of course, without harming anybody else. This guy here is wearing some Hezbollah stuff as well. This is in New York. Why are you here? Why in the world are you here?
That's what you're thinking. When every time I say this, I'm like, how weak and pathetic is the ummah of Muhammad and Allah? I mean, you have over a quarter of the world's population. Israel has one tiny little country. You guys have like 50. And all you do is whine and throw tantrums because you can't actually do anything because it's like the ummah is so weak and pathetic. It's a giant joke. It's one giant. The ummah is one giant toddler throwing a tantrum in the checkout aisle at Walmart because mommy wouldn't buy him Skittles. And it's
in the end, we will win. In the end,
we win. We're going to lose 10,000 times, but no matter how many. I was just bringing this. I think who was I talking to about this, Robert? I was pointing out, it's like, if you go to the Muslim sources, look, we won the Battle of Badr. You see, this proves that Allah is on our side. Then they lost the next battle. They lost the Battle of Uhud. And then they say, oh, it's because Allah was punishing us because something someone did. So Allah is punishing us. That's why we lost. Okay, well, if that's the reasoning, when Allah's on our side, we win. And when Allah is mad at us and he's punishing us, that's when we lose. Okay, you guys keep getting crushed by Israel. You keep getting crushed by everyone. Why are you still running out? We're going to get Israel. We're going to get Israel. When, according to your own ideas and your own prophet, this means that Allah's punishing. If you're not winning, it means Allah's punishing you. Why would you not stop and try to figure out why Allah is so mad at you that he's making you get crushed by a tiny group from the world's population against the second biggest group there is in the world's population, and you just keep getting crushed by them? Why is Allah so mad at you? Why don't you figure that out instead of, AP, just think about this. Suppose before a battle, you think like a Muslim, and before the battle goes in that Allah is mad at you and he's going to punish you if you go into this battle. Should you go into that battle? No. Why would you run into a battle if you know Allah is just going to use this battle to punish you even more? That's according to Islamic thinking. If you know Allah is mad at you, do not go into that battle. You're going to get crushed and a bunch of you are going to die, right? So every battle that you've had with the Jews should be a great indication that Allah is not on your side. He's punishing you for something. So why are you going to keep charging at the Jews and you have not dealt with whatever it is Allah's mad at you for? You haven't dealt with it. So what you're saying is we're just going to go keep dying indefinitely and never deal with whatever Allah's upset at us for. Oh, good luck with that, dummies.
They will say, well, this is only the Israel is winning because Allah is granting them temporarily these benefits, and eventually Allah will punish them and will give us victory. So you see, and the fact that we are losing right now actually proves that Islam is true. This just reminds me of this.
It's called Khandaq, and he hit a rock and he said, Futihat Rum, Persian, the Yemen conquered. And then he knocked the rock again. He said this in his weakest moment. He said that the Yemen has been conquered. I see that the expansion of the Islamic empire is a proof for Islam. And it's not just me, even historians say this. Barnaby Rogerson, he said the fact that Islam spread to the Roman Empire and the Persian Empire is equivalent to is equivalent to Eskimos taking over Russia and America. I believe it's miraculous, if anything, that this happened.
What video is that from? I was about to make a video on this. That was okay. That was the interview with Jordan Peterson. I'll say, hey, this sounds like what he said with Jordan Peterson. But yeah, I apologize. I didn't want to interrupt. Back it up a little bit so we get Jordan's response.
Yeah, let him finish.
Is equivalent to Eskimos taking over Russia and America. I believe it's miraculous, if anything, that this happened. I don't think it's unjustifiable. I think actually Jordan Peterson.
Then why did it stop at Europe's borders, so to speak? If it was a miraculous expansion,
it stopped out because of it wasn't successful there. It wasn't. It stopped where it couldn't go further. But the point is,
My goodness.
Oh.
It couldn't go further. Yeah. So here's what you actually have, AP. The Romans and the Persians are fighting each other in the Middle East, and they beat each other to a complete pulp until they were both sides were horribly weakened. And then a bunch of Arabs come out of Arabia believing that if they go and fight these guys, then they'll be rewarded with an eternity of deflowering virgins in paradise. And they take over the Middle East. And it's a miracle. It's a miracle. It's a miracle that these two completely weakened groups could be conquered by a bunch of people who think that they get to spend eternity deflowering virgins if they go out there and fight successfully. And once they ran into Europe, oopsie, stopped working there. But you see, it's a miracle.
Yeah, I would always recommend Robert Hoyland's book, In God's Path. I read it, had him on here, talked with him about it as well. He maintains and also explains very, very well in the book that it wasn't actually that miraculous, that the Muslims expanded very rapidly and started conquering Persian land and Byzantine land. It was there were always Arab attacks, always Arab raids on these lands, and they took that time in history was a very opportune moment where both of the empires were incredibly weakened, and both of them didn't take the attacks very seriously because they kept happening over and over again. And the Muslim forces made union with other Arab parties. They didn't just, as one come together and invade the Persians and the Byzantines. They made use of different raiding parties and all that, going in further and further, and then took them over. And that's how they expanded. It's not really miraculous. It's impressive, but not really miraculous.
Well, I have to say, I just wanted to point out there are tons of things that spread rapidly in history.
Yeah, like
tons of
AIDS, for example.
Yeah, COVID, communism, various empires. Yep,
AIDS,
and lots of times the empires that would spread rapidly, it's because the previous empire started getting weakened due to various causes, and allowed some group to rise up and exploit the weakness.
Same thing happened with AIDS. Yeah.
You're playing the same thing.
What?
Keep playing the same dumb clip.
It's beautiful.
It's Palestine.
Okay, yeah, it will be free one day.
Yeah.
There is no God besides Allah, the martyr, beloved to Allah, and so on. So these were the reactions from the water to the water, from water to the water. What color is your Bugatti? Hey, look here. They say Palestine is Arab. Look at this way. Palestine Arabia. So
as it's always been.
Yeah, Arab.
Mm-hmm.
It's Arab. See, Arab. Not indigenous Palestinian. No, it's Arab. Alhamdulillah. Very, very nicely put. I'm glad that they clarified that here. When you just talked about Muslims coming together and crying about Israel, it reminds me of this, which people have posted earlier throughout the day. Since the Olympics are going on, here's a comparison of 22 Arab states and the total count of medals, and then Israel is one, and the total count of medals. Of course, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say anything about this, but it's always, you can always point out these interesting discrepancies where you see that that Israel seems to, for some reason, be much more successful than these other ones. Significantly more successful. More. But this is Allah. Yeah.
Well, you can say this about Olympic medals, but what would happen if we change it to Nobel Prize medals, huh? Yeah. Yeah, well, then you'd say the same thing, but much more extreme.
Yeah. And what if you have multiple Arab nations all together attacking Israel. What about then? What about then? Yeah, they all lose. Alhamdulillah, you see, this shows that the Muslims are superior. Anyway, so this is how these people reacted, like imbeciles. And yeah, that's what's up. However, let's look at the actual true face of Ismail Haniyeh. Let's see. Oh, sorry, wrong tweet. Wait a minute.
I make porn. I make porn. I make porn. I made so much porn that I made millions. You consume porn. I am God. You're a loser. But we all knew that already. Learn how to make money by making porn here.
This is so funny because this is the same guy. I told distraction from the topic here. Maybe we should go through this entire thread because I don't know if you noticed, but this thread actually has 30 million views. 30 million views, which was recently posted. 30 million views.
And here I was going to let Andrew slide for all his sex trafficking and lies because he did a protest about that Olympics intro mocking the Last Supper. Yeah, I was going to let him slide, but not now. 30 million.
It's quite funny. Just at that time when Andrew Tate did that, Murdered by Cranes published this thread, which just makes things so nice and so easy. This same guy who was going on Kenneth Owens and saying, "Oh no, it's lie. I didn't do anything."
Oh, they were fully clothed. The girls were always fully clothed.
Fully clothed.
I didn't sell drugs. I never sold drugs. This is the moral hero of young men around the world, according to him.
You know what's funny to me? You will have this here on here. Unfortunately, at the same time, you will have certain people who claim to be proud Christians come here and totally defend Andrew Tate as a great guy, as a great moral example, and all that.
And it's important. Look at the date on there. It's 4 years ago today.
Yeah.
That's 4 years ago today. What happened, guys? What happened? When was this great moral change of Andrew Tate, where he just became the champion of young men, who's someone who's trying to help young men from being abused by the world? When did that happen? When he found out that everything he's been saying for years was actually illegal and that he was going to be arrested for sex trafficking. That's when he had this great moral change. And what did he do? Did he say, I was wrong for all this stuff? No, he said none of that stuff ever happened.
Stop distracting from the topic, David. We're not talking about Andrew Tate. We're talking about Hamas here. So here's an interesting overview of Hamas leaders that have been taken out. Israel is really keeping its promises. So I don't know, man. I feel like I want to trust Israel more than I would trust Hamas here, because Israel is kind of doing what they said they would do. They have been taking out these leaders one by one since the beginning of this war.
Yahya is still here, you see.
Yahya Sinwar is still here, despite his ears. I'm not sure how he's hiding. Despite his gigantic ears, he is still getting away, and still hasn't been killed, hasn't been assassinated. I kind of I would want to buy one of his ears, maybe, like once they kill him, once they get him, because it's a very interesting probably artifact to have. Yeah.
You know, it'd be funny if you were a terrorist, go around wearing giant fake ears, and then when you're not like giving one of your terrorist speeches, you take off the fake ears so you can pretend it's not you, and they wouldn't be able to notice you, because that's what they would identify you as, right? It's like, look for a guy with giant ears and so on. So if you take those off, you're safe. They'll never find you.
Yes,
that's what I would do.
Alhamdulillah. So, but here, let's come to the true face of Ismail Haniyeh. So this moderate guy was apparently totally peaceful and stuff, and who was just defending his poor Palestinian people. He was taken out. Lots of people are sad about it. Lots of people think he was a hero and all that.
Where's Zabiba, man?
Let's talk about this bastard. Well, he was probably not a very, he probably didn't observe his prayers in the best way. That's why he doesn't.
You could tell. And we at Reuters have determined that he's moderate based on his very weak Zabiba. You can tell he's moderate by their Zabiba.
You gotta up your Zabiba game, bro. Infidel Noodle. Hey, what's up, Infidel Noodle? Probably flapped his ears and flew away.
What's wrong with everyone? Is everyone making fun of everyone's physical appearance and physical deformities?
They're not even that big, man. They're not even that big. Let me see.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got some satellite dishes there.
Yeah. Interesting ears. Interesting ears. I don't know. I went to an evolution museum recently, and I saw like models that looked like this guy. It was very interesting. So anyway, let's listen to what Ismail Haniyeh has to say. As I said, and I repeat every time, the blood of the children, women, and the elderly. What the heck?
Doesn't matter if it's quiet. We got the words on the page. No one's listening to what he's actually saying.
Quietest thing that I've heard in my entire life. What is this?
As I said, and I repeat every time, the blood of the children, women, and elderly.
I do not say that it shouts out to you, but rather we need this blood so that it will ignite within us the spirit of revolution.
We need the blood of women and children.
We need the blood of children, of women, of elderly.
So send us your blood, women and children,
so that it will ignite within us the spirit of the revolution.
And so we can drink it.
So that it will arouse us.
We
so
are
that it will
aroused
arouse
by the
us.
blood of children. Anything with children arouses us. We are very aroused by children. Not so much the women, but with children. Yes, that is what arouses us.
So that it will arouse within us persistence, so that it will arouse within us defiance and advance. So this is Ismail Haniyeh. His speech on the deaths occurring in Gaza. We're always told that that Israel is responsible for the deaths, and Israel is indiscriminately killing Palestinians, and people are dying because of Israel, and people are dying because Israel wants to genocide them, and all of that. Hamas has persistently said that that civilians need to be sacrificed, that they need to be killed, that they need to be sacrificed, that their blood needs to be spilled in order to further the goal, the agenda, and to reach the liberation of Palestine, and to the destruction of the Zionist entity. That's what they always say. They say that their people are a nation of martyrs, and that they are a great nation of martyrs, which is why they need to die, and their deaths will make things great again. That's what they say. So here is this guy openly saying that children, women, and elderly will die, and their blood will make us stronger. This is the sentiment.
We want to drink your blood of your kids. It make us strong and wake us up.
Alhamdulillah. Hey, this is funny. My wife just brought me this because I got these cards.
Where'd you get those? Been looking for those forever.
I can tell you right now. GazasMostWanted.com. GazasMostWanted.com. It says right here, GazasMostWanted.com. You can get those cards right.
That's like Malibu's MostWanted.com.
Yeah, you can get those right there, and they're probably going to change that. They're probably going to change that soon. But when I got this, it was still like this. It still doesn't have an eliminated on it, where others, for example, do have eliminated on them.
Oh, you can get you get eliminated stickers. That's nice.
So he has Qasem Soleimani. He has an eliminated on it, for example. When I got Ismail Haniyeh, he still didn't have eliminated on it. But just after it arrived, just after I ordered it and it arrived, Israel took this guy out. So now I have to fix this. And no, I'm not going to order stickers for it. I'm going to fix this. right here and right now. Right here and right now. Let's see. Let's do this. So, how should I do this? Do I cross this out? Do I like cross this out here and then write eliminated or something?
You're supposed to have stickers. It's supposed to come with stickers. It says it comes with stickers.
I don't want to wait for stickers. What stickers? It doesn't come with stickers. What are you talking about?
It says they come with stickers. It says it right here on the thing, unless that happened after you got those.
Oh, well, maybe they did come with stickers and I didn't pay attention. Interesting.
It says it comes with stickers that you can add to it when they've been eliminated.
Huh. Really? Huh. Interesting. I'll check it out. Maybe I have stickers. Okay, then I will not draw anything on it for now. I will wait for the news. I will wait to see if I have stickers or not. If I have stickers, I will put the stickers on. Alhamdulillah. You need the official stickers. Yeah. Well, Kimba94 said, "Don't make fun of dead people. We won't make fun of our dead enemies."
Oh, hey, wait a minute.
I make fun of dead people.
Wait a minute. It says right here, a portion of the proceeds aids the IDF in its fight against terrorism and defense of our homeland.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Let me get 20 of these decks.
Does it say that?
Yeah, it does. A portion of proceeds aids the IDF in its fight against terrorism and defense of our homeland.
Yeah.
I'm buying 1 million of these right now.
Wait, it does say eliminated stickers included with each deck for you to update. Maybe I did get that and I missed it.
Probably threw them away.
Maybe. Interesting. But yeah, so if you get these, this actually, wait a minute, these are different ones. I didn't get these. I got the other ones. I got these here. Axis of Evil cards. They also have eliminated stickers. I don't know why I have different ones. Anyway, I should get the Gaza's Most Wanted deck as well. So if you want to support the war, if you want to support the fight, not support the war. If you want to support the IDF in this fight, get those decks. GazasMostWanted.com. I'm going to order another deck here, inshallah. Anyway, are you done talking about decks, dude?
Just entering my information. Yeah, we're good, man. Ordered in your face.
Beast.
Ordered 1 million.
I gotta say, if you are somebody who supports these people here, this terrorist organization, if you're somebody who supports these terrorist heads, including this guy who was just finally killed, you are scum. You're a scum. You're a scum. Including, for example, this guy here. Look at this guy. This guy is also scum. The president of the disgusting Republic of Turkey. He was also very good friends with Ismail Haniyeh. I think he's very sad now about this. Hope he gets even sadder. Hope he gets even sadder, inshallah.
What that is the great mystery, right? They keep, we love martyrdom, we love death more than you love life. Okay, well, here's how much we love life. So you must really, 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 really love death. And then as soon as a terrorist dies, it's the end of the world.
Why is it happening?
It's like I don't believe what they're saying.
Yeah.
When someone runs out with a suicide vest, blows himself up. Okay, I believe that guy. I believe that guy means what he says.
Yeah,
when that guy says he loves death, I believe he means it. You guys running around hiding and hiding throughout the world and then moaning and wailing when you die, I don't believe you guys love death and martyrdom as much as you say.
This was funny. Khamenei said the criminal terrorist Zionist regime martyred our dear guest in our territory and has caused our grief, but it has also prepared the ground for a severe punishment. And Ben Shapiro said, it seems like it did the shitty job of hosting, sir. So
yeah, who believes that that severe punishment is? You see the U.S. just sent a battle group over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. That bloody response you're planning, Iran.
Here's the last day of Ismail Haniyeh in the Iranian parliament. They say Marbar Israel, which means death to Israel in Persian. So this is what the Islamists in the Iranian parliament are saying: death to Israel. But that's not all. Here now they're saying Marbar America, so death to America. This is it.
Funny, it's always the same thing. It's always. I don't mean them in particular. I mean it's always the same scenario. So here it's death to America, death to Israel, death to America, death to Israel, death to America, death to Israel. But guys, treat us really well in response and treat us with the utmost respect. And if you don't, then we're the victims here. We're the real victims. And that's always the dynamic. If you go to London, that's the dynamic. We're going to keep screwing with you, rape little girls. It doesn't matter. We do whatever we want. And the moment you say no, oh, we're being oppressed. Help, we're being oppressed here. It's pathetic, man. It's pathetic.
And they go out and say,
what is weaker than the Ummah? Name anything on the planet or in history that is weaker than the Ummah of Allah. You can't. Silence. Exactly. Weaker than tissue paper.
I can say one thing. So probably Muhammad, whenever he saw Dihya,
he's weak in the knees.
he was probably getting very weak whenever he saw Dihya. It's basically this here, man. It's basically this: we will kill you all, and then we'll just kill you. And then foreign leaders condemn Israel's response. UN warns of escalation. This is basically how it goes. It's not even a joke. It's not even a joke, because you have these guys here: death to Israel, death to America. If now an Israeli or an American comes out and says that the Iranian government is disgraceful, their response to that will be that this is an escalation and makes the world brings more fighting and hate to the world, and unfortunately they will now be forced to respond to that. That's what they will say. Always attack and then play the victim. Always call for genocide, then play the victim. Always call for destruction, then play the victim. Always attack, then play the victim. I'm sorry, but if on the one hand you have these guys saying we will destroy you all and we will kill all of you, I think it should be totally acceptable to say, how about no, we will destroy you entirely. This should be totally acceptable. Should be totally acceptable. Totally acceptable. If they say we will kill you all, you should say,
how about no?
And then destroy them instead. And that should be acceptable. But no, this is the world we live in. It's a sick world. It's a sick world. It's a sick world. Sick. Where's my sick button? Where's my sick button?
You're sick. You're sick.
Yeah. But finally, gladly he died.
Coward. He died like a dog. He died like a coward.
I need to put this on my soundboard. This was his reaction when Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi died. I want to go.
By the way, that was cool. I've said this like 10,000 times, but I was about to leave Israel. It's about to leave Israel. We were in the airport in Tel Aviv when they announced that Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi had been killed, and I was sitting there with an Army Ranger and a Navy SEAL, and I said, "Hey, can we go live and talk about this?" And they're like, "Sure." It was super, super dope.
Based. I want to watch parts of this video put together by this ginger Jew. By Yosef, who is a very nice guy, who was also a guest on this channel a while ago. Israel Advocacy Movement, very, very good channel. He put this together, certain things from Ismail Haniyeh. I want to just make use of his work here, totally exploit it, and have a look at this to have some more context.
ما في ممكن في يوم من الأيام ناس مسلمين فضلا أن يكونوا تحت الاحتلال إنه يضعوا على الطاولة إنه في مقاومة ولا فيش مقاومة، في جهاد ولا ما فيش جهاد.
نعم.
There should always be jihad. This is a nation of jihad, and martyrdom. We should always have jihad. There is no question.
آن الأوان لجهاد السنان هو 7 أكتوبر شو؟ هو الخندق المتقدم للهجوم لهذه الأمة. المقاومة.
So this was even after October 7.
لهذه الأمة. المقاومة المسلحة.
He celebrated October 7 and said that this is an offensive by our nation, a fight, a resistance.
مسلحة والكفاح المسلح هو الطريق لتحرير الأرض الفلسطينية من البحر إلى النهر.
From the river to the sea, fighting, armed resistance, jihad is the path for liberating the Palestinian land from the river to the sea. Meaning, all of Israel needs to be destroyed. All of it needs to be turned into Palestine from the river to the sea. And we will employ jihad, martyrdom, so jihad, fighting, and martyrdom until we establish that goal. This is him. This is Ismail Haniyeh.
من البحر إلى النهر وطرد الغزاة الغاصبين.
And the expulsion of the invaders and usurpers. Very, very ironic. You guys are the invaders.
من أرض فلسطين المباركة.
إلا أنه بالتأكيد إحنا بنستنكر إنه يكون في اغتيال أو قتل لمجاهد.
This one here is very, very important. This was the reaction of Ismail Haniyeh and Hamas to the killing of Osama bin Laden. Osama bin Laden. Here is the response by Hamas, by the moderate guy.
إلا أنه بالتأكيد إحنا بنستنكر إنه يكون في اغتيال أو قتل لمجاهد مسلم إنسان عربي.
إن دماء.
His response to the killing of Osama bin Laden was that he condemns, or we condemn, the killing, the assassination, or the murder of a Muslim mujahid, a Muslim fighter, a Muslim jihadist, and great Arab. They also had made an official statement at that time, which even which was in the media. But these same guys are now depicted as totally, just a resistance movement against oppressors. And Osama bin Laden, for those who were only born 10 years ago, Osama bin Laden was one of the worst.
What? No, bull. Because I saw on TikTok he was super cool and wrote a love letter.
Well, then it must be right.
Yeah,
then it must be right.
If kids believe it on TikTok, then it must be good.
So this is what we're dealing with. This is what Israel deals with. Israel has to justify killing the head of the terrorist organization responsible for the murder of so many Israelis and others. The very same guy who also condemned the killing of Osama bin Laden. Israel really has to sit down and justify that.
إن دماء الأطفال والنساء والشيوخ لا أقول تستصرخكم بل نحن الذين نحتاج هذه الدماء لكي توقظ فينا روح الثورة.
Oh, this was even in October, after October 7.
طلع جد الاسرائيلي سجدة الشكر ان شاء الله على هذا النصر. نظرية
That was his reaction to October 7. After the October 7 attack, he went to the ground to prostrate and to put up his butt for Allah.
It's pronounced prostate.
Yeah, to prostrate before Allah, to put his butt up in the sky for Allah in celebration of the mass killings of October 7.
Wait, did he put his butt right in the faces of the guys behind him?
Yeah. And they take the opportunity, of course, to smell it because they're like, yeah.
You know what? You know what's crazy? Because you got all these hadiths, and it's all about like farting and what are the rules on farting while praying and stuff like this, and there's like hadith after hadith after hadith, and you're like, why are they so busy talking about it? But given how they pray, it's like it is a bigger deal than you would think, right? It is like if you're literally going face to face with some guy's butt, not in the sense of like Muhammad and Diya, but like in normal prayers and so on, then you don't want some guy letting loose in your face. So
Yeah.
anyway,
this is a legitimate concern.
Kind of makes sense. Kind of makes sense, guys. So Muslim, I'm saying all the many hadiths about passing gas, letting a butt bubble in someone's face during prayers. I get it now. I get it. It makes sense. Like seeing this guy and thinking about what it would be like to be behind this guy. It was I get it. I get it. Make some Beano. Make some Beano, guys.
So you will never say anything bad about the whole, farting discussion in Islam anymore.
No, I won't. We had an entire episode of Islamicized Me that was about that, but now I take it back. Makes sense.
The theory of coexistence.
بين الشعبين في ال48 اليوم يدوسه أبناؤنا وأهلنا في اللد وفي الرملة. أقول في صفد لنا صفدوا لنا.
So he was a very moderate leader.
This is there you have it. This is the guy who was the head of the terrorist organization that oversaw mass killings, suicide bombings, rockets fired from hospitals, from cities, abductions, murders, rapes, torture, burnings, explosions of buses, and so on. The head of that organization, this guy, was taken out by Israel. And you know what?
We're proud of that. We're proud of that. We're proud of that.
In your face. And I hope the rest of Hamas is also taken out. And I hope the rest of the Houthis are also taken out. Ameen. And I hope the rest of Hezbollah is also taken out. Ameen. And I hope the rest of the Islamic regime of Iran is also taken out. Ameen. Somebody said, can you link this video? I will in the description after we're done with the live stream, inshallah. Hey, this is funny. Speaking of Turkey is always dumb. But so Dr. Eli David says, yesterday I posted a joke that the name of Mossad agent who killed Haniyeh is Amit Nakesh, which in Hebrew literally means assassin. Actually, the word is, I think, Hamid Nakesh, but he made fun of it, made a joke of it, saying that the assassin's name is Amit Nakesh. Today, the Turkish press ran with it, and some even referred to him as Colonel Amit
This is
Nakesh.
like the Eli Copter thing.
You have the screenshots here. It's so stupid. There's even I checked the Wikipedia article earlier, and I thought this is funny because this should go into history. And when people look into the history, they will see that Turkey's role in the whole event of the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh is just being completely stupid. Let me see. Let me find that Wikipedia article here. Assassination of Ismail Haniyeh. Assassination. Turk. Oh yeah, here. Got it. Let me see. Let me see. Turk. Dumb Turk. Turks. Oh yeah, here. Turk. Several Turkish media outlets have reported that the assassin was a Mossad agent named Amit Nakesh, reports which were evidently misled by a Hebrew meme parodying the word Hamid Nakesh, Hebrew, the assassin. Why does Turkey have to consistently be such an embarrassment? It's just...
Yeah. and we want to correct that. It was not Amit Nakesh. It was a Mr. Albert Sasson, or Assassin for short. Like the media runs with it.
Amit Nakesh and Helicopter are my heroes. Yep. Helicopter or Helicopter is the guy who took out, who is responsible for the assassination of the Iranian President Raisi. So yeah, he was in charge of that. That was Helicopter. Helicopter, perfect assassin. He did a fantastic job. He did a tremendous job. All right. Let's take a few super chats here. You're so late, you only get 3/5 of a jizya. I want all the jizya. All of it. I want all of it. A leather straps of the vertical smile said, AP, you're turning me gay. Where's your burqa? This is why I'm doing this, man. What are you talking about? Infidel Noodle said, from Ismail Haniyeh to Wasmail Haniyeh.
I've seen that. That's
yeah.
Guys, get it from Ismail Haniyeh to was.
yeah. That's pretty good. The one thing that I feel sad about is that now that Ismail Haniyeh is gone, I feel kind of sad for his goats. They will be left without love. Without all the loving. Without all the loving. They will be crying and screaming like this. Waiting for Ismail Haniyeh to come back one more time and give him a loving. Poor goats. Poor goats. Poor sheep. Poor donkeys. Hope somebody at least takes care of them. I don't know. What?
You should put something together, like a fake news report. Let's turn to his widows, and it's just like goats screaming.
Mr. Granges, AP was awesome to see you on Tim Pool. Keep it up. Oh yeah, thank you. We briefly mentioned it at the beginning. Yeah, I was at Tim Pool, and it was pretty based. It's pretty based.
Pretty based of Tim Pool to have on the Apostate Prophet.
Yeah, it was kind of surprising to me because I remember there was many months ago they were actually trying to set up a debate between me and Jake Shields.
Yeah, but then you backed down and ran, or well, one of you did. I forget which one.
Yeah, Jake Shields initially agreed to it, then he backed out, and then he said he will only debate me if I also agree to have a 1-minute fight with him. A fight with him, with a professional MMA fighter who has titles worldwide. He's actually challenging me, somebody who doesn't fight at all, to a fight. That's what he thinks. And I guess the thought is that he would do to me in a fight what I would do to him in a debate. I don't know. That's I guess what he was trying to say. Anyway, so that never worked out.
Hey, hang on. I'll take the fight side of that. In other words, I'll let him beat the crap out of me so you can debate him and humiliate him. I'll do that. Tell him. Yeah. Tell him, say David Wood will take the 1-minute fight. You can beat the crap out of him, and you get the debate.
I kind of actually agreed at some point, but it didn't get back anymore.
Yeah,
because I thought I would just agree and then just surrender at the very beginning immediately as soon as it starts.
Then sometimes after that, he was running his mouth and he invited me and he was like, yes, I'm going out with Nick Fuentes. Yes, yeah, come out and see what happens. And I was like, cool, there's 2 of you. I'll bring AP and we can do this. And then all of a sudden he goes, no, you're uninvited now because of, and then he made up some excuse. And it's like, he's just like the Dawa guys who wants to issue challenges. And then as soon as you accept them, no, you're not ready. No, you're not good enough to be. It's like a joke, man. What a clown.
What a joke.
Total clown.
So anyway, long after that, suddenly received a message earlier this week saying, hey, this Friday, Tim Pool. And I was like, okay. So I went over there and we had a chat about the alliance between the left and Islam. And it was quite okay. It was quite good. Quite interesting. I think it went well. I don't know. I think it was good. I think it was quite all right. So yeah, that's what happens. Philip Daniel said Candace Owens is now promoting Hazard theory. Are you freaking kidding me, man? What is she not doing at this point? What is she not doing?
Yeah, is there any ridiculous theory she's not promoting right now?
I don't know.
Name one. Think of a weird position that Candace is not defending right now. Try to come up with one. You can't.
All right. I'm going to quickly go over to Candace Owens's account, or my alternative account, because she blocked me on my regular account. And let's quickly have a glance at her profile. And it's already painful to go through this. It's very, very, very painful to go through this. But I don't know. I don't even want to know at this point, honestly. No idea. But somebody please point me at it. I would like to have a look at it. Awful Falafel said, I'm the best falafel. Hey, this is Ali Dawa. Look at that. Isa Kabir. Hey, what's up, Isa? Baruch Hashem. Brothers, always good to see you all. You see, he's a Jew. I am actually in the Holy Land right now. This news is a big deal. What do you think about Olympics?
Oh. Hey, Issa must have been there before, because there's no way they're going to let him in there after the way they harassed us.
Yeah. Well, he has Jewish family, so that's that.
I guess that helps. I guess that helps. Yeah. Okay. So you have Turkish family. He has Jewish family. Okay. That makes sense.
That's why they harassed me, but let him through immediately.
And then harass me by association.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know a guy who has Turkish family.
Seek truth. Have you guys seen Sal and Shake It Off's music video yet? Dolly on Shake It Off's channel. The music started at 3:46. I couldn't stop laughing. I briefly glanced at it earlier. I should check it out afterward. Woodsman said, since Muhammad walked around covered in semen, he should be the prophet of Islam. He is the prophet of Islam. What are you talking about? Why are you laughing?
I was just thinking in future skits we could call it Jislam and Jislam.
Sure.
Everything's Jislam and Jizya and everything else.
That's very Islamophobic. Shield Maiden for Christ said Algeria sent trans athlete contradict Islam. Why? So here is the thing with the whole
it's not quite trans. It's a different. It's like a disorder or something, right?
Yeah, it's not a trans person. The funny thing is people initially began talking about it so fiercely because they thought it was a trans person competing, but that's not really what's happening. You can't transition in Algeria. What do you think? This is it's a Muslim country. It is an actual woman who was actually born, identified as a biological woman who, however, was born with a disorder, a very, very rare disorder, and who is
an XY chromosome. That's
who is considered intersex, which is a very, 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 very rare, and also a very unfortunate in many ways disorder. And I think a lot of people want to talk about this whole scandal and this whole issue without, I don't know, sitting down and thinking a little bit further about where they actually stand on the whole issue. Because the person in question is not a obviously a man or so pretending to be a woman. No, correctly initially by the right standards identified as a woman, however, suffers from a very rare disorder that complicates things severely in her development. And you would then have to talk about whether a person with such disorder should be able to participate in a competition with other women or not. That is the whole discussion.
Yeah, and that's kind of a tough one because again, this person has an XY chromosome and high levels of testosterone, which makes it easier to build muscle, makes you stronger, makes you develop differently. So you have a massive advantage, and it would be comparable to a woman who just takes a bunch of testosterone to develop. But if this person's had this advantage for a long time, just naturally producing testosterone gives you, it's like taking a ton of performance enhancing drugs over the years and developing differently. So, there's a bit of common sense here would say, hey, if you have this massive advantage due to a disorder that makes you comparable to someone taking, performance enhancing drugs, then we got a problem. We kind of need to make a separate category for you. With that said, however, there are other situations where you can have athletes who had a tumor on their pituitary gland and made them larger than everyone, and then they get the tumor fixed and so on, but they're still larger than everyone. Do you let them compete or not? You normally do. So you don't normally completely rule people out based on disorders. So I would say something along, it's going to depend on the situation. It's one thing if you're racing against someone, if you're beating a woman's face in and you have a massive advantage due to a disorder and you have lots of testosterone, that's a different scenario. If you're racing and you lose the race, that's one thing. If you're beating another woman's face in or something like that, and you have this genetic issue that basically gives you the equivalent of a ton of performance enhancing drugs, it's kind of a different category, I'd say.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Let me quickly see. I think the funny thing is also that lots of people are talking about the chromosomes, and that this person, her name is Imane something something, has XY chromosomes. However, there is actually no known evidence that that is the case. It is only a claim that apparently a test showed that she has those chromosomes, but that it wasn't ever published. But that is just a claim so far. There is no actual evidence. But it's probably it is probably believable with that disorder that she developed, that she has unusual chromosomes and has unusual development, as is very clear. However, she was correctly identified as biologically female at the beginning and is still so. But is that person under those circumstances really supposed to compete with other regular women? That's the question. I don't have an opinion on this. Why would I? Why do you have an opinion on this? Why do you concern yourself with this? I mean, I would understand if this was an LGBTQ plus issue and people want to jump all over it and discuss it. I get it. Why do you have an opinion on this? This is not an LGBTQ plus issue at all. Not at all. CO said Привет IP from Rottenbank. Как дела? Don't spell it like that. I know you're saying how are you, but when you spell it like that, it just looks very inappropriate. It's как дела, but when you spell it like that in English, it sounds very, very inappropriate. But yes, I'm good. I'm well. Cam said Muhammad would tell Hitler to shave his mustache, if you know what I mean. Yes, totally. Apostate of Allah, I was so happy when I heard the news. You mean of the death of Ismail Haniyeh? Shame on you. How heartless of you. How heartless of you. That a man so beloved by millions around the world dies, and you are happy?
No, maybe she just meant she heard the news you were going on Tim Pool. Tim Pool's show.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. That's true. That could be the case as well. Obey said Living Faith CT Church just released a YouTube interview with a former Muslim woman who became one in Puerto Rico through Turkish TV shows in Spanish. Wait a minute. So she was Puerto Rican and became a Muslim through Turkish TV shows in Spanish, and then left Islam. I think that's how I understand this. I guess I'm right on this one. That's pretty dumb, but yeah, interesting. David, you should check that out. That sounds like something that you would like to check out, David. And it's also
Faith CT.
It's also from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. Apostate of Allah said yes. Also, see, she confirms it. She said yes. Sankey, there's actually an NYT article from 1934 about a moderate Nazi party leader, but it was Hess. Anyway, who was the most moderate Adolf fan besides AP? Yeah, Rudolf Hess was quite an interesting fellow. Steffs, he was known as a moderate head chopper. Sheikh Mawingeling says, that's it, AP. You slandered the Prophet, peace be upon him, Muhammad, peace be upon him, too many times. You're here upon officially challenged to a badminton death match. Whoa, man. You're scaring me here. Scaring me. What are you looking at, dude? What is...
Yeah, so on Living Faith Christian Church, there's an interview with the video's titled Ex-Muslim Finds Jesus through Isaiah Saldivar Ministry. Sadly, it is over 2 hours long. Who's going to watch a 2-hour live stream? Come on, be realistic here.
2 hours. That's insane, man. That's insane. That is insane. What do you think about this? He lived like a Palestinian and died like a Palestinian. I found this a little bit offensive because they're saying that Palestinians are terrorists. And
yeah, he lived like a terrorist and died like a terrorist. So they're saying that that's what Palestinian means.
Yeah. This is kind of very, very racist and offensive by Hamad Azam.
Yeah, is that a Muslim or is that someone making fun of him? Because you can interpret that either way.
Yeah, I think it is a Muslim. It is a Muslim from Pakistan who supports Palestine, and he basically says the Palestinians are all terrorists, which is very, very messed up.
That is. We don't say that.
Yeah, I don't say this. I
No,
don't
we
say
don't
stuff
say
like
that.
that. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I don't say that kind of stuff. But you say it here as a Muslim. Shame on you. You disgust me. You make me sick. You make me sick.
You sick in the mind?
Yeah. Vieti Visto said Jews are so successful because they inherited the Protestant work ethic during exile in EU, while Islam is a religion that instills contempt for labor and does nothing but brutally distract you. Yes, I would say that there is I agree and disagree with a certain aspect. Ashkenazi Jews did indeed adopt, admittedly, even admitted by Theodor Herzl, adopt certain ethics that helped them establish this whole Zionist idea, including work ethics. I would, however, say that that Jewish culture, even those outside the Protestant work ethics, those outside the Ashkenazi culture, have always had a culture of very good work ethics. And you will see that Mizrahi Jews, so Jews from the Arab world, are significantly more hardworking and efficient compared to the Muslims that they lived with forever. I would say that I would want to give the Jews and their work ethics and their values significant credit here. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. David, what were you saying? You were saying something about agreeing and disagreeing.
I would agree with what you said. There's also a component where both religiously and outside other groups forcing them, they ended up focusing on certain trades.
Yeah.
But they became very good at those various trades and were able to become very successful at them. So it's a combination of factors.
Yep. Jews were very hardworking and were known for their contributions if employed in certain aspects within society. However, a very, very nice recurring theme. Hey, let's have these Jews over here. Let's invite them over here, and let's give them certain jobs that the rest of us will not do. Let's have them handle transactions and money and this and that, because they do it so well. And then tough times come and people start losing money. But those who handle the money, the Jews, are not as affected as the others. And then they're like, wait a minute, why are we all doing worse, but the Jews are not? This means the Jews must be evil. Let's kill them or kick them out. Fantastic logic by people. And a lot of people like Fuentos still have the same ideas because they are like the lowest form of human thinking is what neo-Nazis are today. And the same people have also in the past rewarded and then persecuted the Jews because they thought that they are evil. Messed up. Matt Silva here is, and one issue is also that they would accuse him of sacrificing children and drinking their blood and using it in baking, which is very, very, very ridiculous. Like that's the kind of stuff that I would do. It's not something that Jews would do. Matt Silva said, here is the thing. Western liberal values are for Western liberal people. Communists, Momo, the Chomo, and the authoritarians can't have them. This sounds very based, but it sounds almost fascistic. So you should probably remove yourself and delete your account.
That is an ongoing problem that people, you saw this with the Arab Spring. It was, hey, if we just go over there, we look at it from a Western perspective where get rid of the tyrant and then all the people who want freedom and democracy will flourish, because the only thing preventing them from flourishing is the tyrant in their midst. So if we just go get rid of Saddam Hussein and Assad and Gaddafi and all these guys, then freedom and democracy will take over. So we go over there and we start taking out the tyrants, and what do you get? You get ISIS. Oopsie. Oopsie, what happened there? Well, there were people there who didn't want freedom and democracy. There are people there who wanted to subjugate the world in the name of Allah. And so you didn't understand that the people actually have different values and goals. And it's a massive mistake that Western leaders keep making, thinking that everyone else is like us, and they're not.
Here is this funny guy in Konu saying, over 109 countries and city-states expelled Jews. So are you saying all of them expelled Jews out of jealousy? This includes Christian and Muslim countries that were enemies in Konu. I'm not sure what I want to say about those countries. However, what I want to say about you is that you probably have... you don't have very strong thinking skills. So if you think... You might be one of those people who think, oh, look at this, these people, they don't know the facts, but I know what's really going on in the world. And the Jews are doing this and this and that. I must say, there is a very unfortunate thing about humanity that is currently very prominent, which is that there are lots of people who will have these embarrassing but sinister theories and ideas about world powers and about Jews and about this and that. And those people who also employ some crazy conspiracy theories will often think of themselves as very intelligent, as able to see what all the other sheep out there are unable to see. You probably think of yourself as very, very intelligent and very smart because you see the truth behind everything. The problem is that you are actually not very intelligent. On the contrary, you demonstrate very clearly a great lack of critical thinking skills, and you display it right here with this comment here. Where you repeat a meme that you saw online and present it as a fact when you say that over 109 countries and city-states expelled Jews. If I asked you to list to me those 109 countries and city-states that expelled Jews, you wouldn't even be able to list 5 of them. I can guarantee you wouldn't even be able to list 5 of them, or okay, let's say 10 of them, because I have to break one thing to you, which will immediately make my point that you lack critical thinking skills and you repeat whatever some idiot says on the internet. The idea that over 109 countries expelled Jews is a fabrication. It's wrong. It's factually wrong. It's not true. Didn't happen. This is a meme that is popularized by Nazis and Islamists, primarily by Nazis, and Islamists then adopted because Islamists usually don't come up with anything on their own. They just take whatever the Reuters offer them. This is based on, in the past, certain countries expelled Jews at some point in time, and those countries nowadays correspond with newer countries which didn't exist back then, which those countries ruled over. However, neo-Nazis, because France, for example, at some point expelled Jews, and France ruled over territories that are today comprised of over 20 different countries, they will count France as 20 different countries, and thereby say 20 countries expelled Jews. This is the logic by which this meme has been formed and established. This is not a secret, actually. If you went online and just asked the question, which 109 countries expelled Jews in history, you would come to this explanation very, very quickly, and you would dispel this myth and correct yourself and find out that this is completely wrong within less than 10 minutes. In 5 minutes, you would find out that this is a completely false statement. But you don't even bother fact-checking this meme because you like picking up pathetic ideas that neo-Nazis or gropers or whatever these people spread, who spend most of their waking days in a dark basement, in their mother's basement, masturbating to adult entertainment, which they then blame on Jews. This is the problem. Maybe you should start thinking and start actually reading and studying and finding out that you are the one who is helplessly stupid. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, I want to add something real quick. So think about the implication here. The implication is, wait a minute, all these different places had a problem with the same group. What are the odds that everyone had a problem with the same group, or that there's a problem with that group? And that's why everyone has a problem with the group. Apply this reasoning consistently. What's the most persecuted group in the entire world right now? Christians. So guess what? You go to the Muslim world, Christians have to be persecuted because of their theological beliefs, which are opposed to Islam, and they promote shirk and so on. So that's why Muslims have to keep attacking Christians. You go to the communist world, well, Christianity is the opiate of the masses, and so we just have to keep attacking Christians. Even if you go to Christian majority countries, you'll have atheists whining about Christians. They're going to stop science. They're going to stop science if we do not endlessly mock them. So wherever you go in the world, everyone has a reason to not like Christians. And so what are the odds that all these different groups would have a problem with the same group, or that there's just a big problem with Christians? You can do that. Where in reality, anytime you have a group that basically stands their ground and does not refuses to adopt the ideology that you want them to adopt, you start harassing or persecuting them. That's just what you do. And it's true of Christians. It's true of Jews. It's true of all kinds of groups down through history. The fact that you just zero in on Jews and say, oh, but different people had a problem with Jews, therefore Jews must be bad. My goodness, get a brain cell.
Christians are the most persecuted. This, of course, means that Christians are evil.
Mm-hmm. According to this guy's reasoning, yeah.
Well, there you have it. How can anyone deny now that Christians are not evil? Can't. Oh, that Christians are evil. Sorry. Yeah, whatever. There you have it. This is the proof that Christianity is evil. Tim Peterson, I don't think Franklin said it so exotically, AP. He probably did, man. He probably did. Benjamin Franklin probably said it exactly like that. Crusader General, the standard Islamic narrative is you do it too. Following this logic, we conclude that not all Muslims are terrorists. Many are also PDF-iles. Huh. Interesting. This is very Islamophobic, and I will just pretend I didn't read that. Leather straps of the vertical smile. Osho, slower than Momo, teasing for the Karbi. Sankey, who was the Mike Winger of the Nazi party? That's a very good question. I have to think about that a little bit further.
You'd have to look at pictures and see who was the biggest nerd.
Maybe it was Josef Mengele. One of the most messed up people in the party. Ari Wasserman said Shariahu Akbar. Alhamdulillah. Powerful stuff. Calypsos 24 said because Sharia basically means government by the Muslims, of the Muslims, for the Muslims. This is messed up, man. Mm-hmm. What's wrong with people? Hunting Shark says, you see, Israel keeps beating the Ummahs with all its might, as all doing, but no jizya. Yeah. This is the proof. Daniel the Kinkaju says BLS AP is literally genocide. I know it's people have said that this is ethnic cleansing. I said no. Chris Scott, Allah, great deceiver, eternity with virgins and ED. Yeah, that's what they do in heaven. That's what they do. Ari Wasserman. Hey, Ari, what's up? Ari Wasserman, you should be careful with your super chats because certain people like this guy Aladdin from the cartoons is particularly offended about your super chats. He particularly finds your super chats very, 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 very appalling, and he thinks that people could be, turned away and, forever, I don't know, upset when they come and see super chats like yours. So yeah, careful. Muhammad, revelation comes to me in no other garment than Aisha's. Iman Khalif, hold my camel juice. No. Apostate of Allah, I did a video on Ismail. If you're interested, I will check it out after I'm done with this, and maybe if it's good enough, and if it's not complete garbage, then we might have a look at that. Maybe. Ari Wasserman, Haniyeh had a moderate beard, so he was only a moderate terrorist. This is one argument that can be made. So first off, there are a few things that are physically different here to notice. He doesn't have the massive beard, the ugly beard. It's trimmed in a nicer way, and he doesn't have a massive zabiba. From this, you can conclude that he's probably not a radical and that he's a little bit moderate. Of course, ignoring completely the fact that he just that he wants mass killings and wants to eradicate Israel and Israelis. Oh, sorry, wanted wanted to eradicate Israel and Israelis, and wanted mass killings. I forgot that he died. He's dead. But yeah, so other than that, he's totally moderate because of his beard and his zabiba, his lack of zabiba. He was, sorry, man. Alidawa's Grape said, haha, that Shake It Off Sal Dolly song. I have to check it out, man. I have to check it out. CO, draw ears on Yaya's card. I will do that. Ari Wasserman, I am brave hero since I sit in Qatar eating fried chicken while the Shuhada protect the children of Palestine. I am brave hero since I sit in Qatar eating fried chicken while the Shuhada protect the children of Palestine and make their blood flow through the streets, which arouses us. D. Badrew, hey, D has been a member for 52 months. How long is that? How many years is 52 months? Will we ever know? I don't know. I don't think anyone has ever calculated that high. Stop animal cruelty. I received the Jihad Tears mug today in UK. David, people are ordering a Jihad Tears mug.
Cheers.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Cheers.
For such a hateful thing. Yeah.
Comes with an endless supply of actual jihadi tears.
Look at that. I saw this picture. I was just I just got off my plane here when I saw this post by Nadira Ali. It said, our beloved Ismail Haniyeh has been buried here. And this is the grave. It's kind of a weird looking grave. I don't know if it's like, people say that his head exploded when he died. I'm not sure if it's like the head is missing or something, or it's only half the body here.
It looks short, right?
Yeah. I don't know what exactly they did here. Maybe they kept part of his body to to use it for pleasure or something, and then the rest of it they buried here. However, this is his grave, it says, and I saw this, so I thought I should include something here, and then I did this, and I'm still very proud of this art project. This is a masterpiece. In fact, this might be the most artistically beautiful thing I have ever made. David, what do you think about it?
Oh, you're the one who made that?
Yeah, I did it.
It's pretty rude.
I was walking around at the airport and I thought, hey, I want to do this right now. That's what I did. So that's what I do in my free time. Legimathy Gayon said Turkey's embassy in Israel flew its flag at half-mast for Haniyeh. We used a drone to plant an Israeli flag in the space the Turks provided on the pole above their own flag. Don't try to clown us, Israel. That's pretty based. That's pretty based. I think it is probably time to take Constantinople and turn it into Constantinople again. D, hey, what's up, D? Always nice to have you here. So nice to have you here for so long. AP, have you seen the memes about this? Armin did a whole stream of them. I should check it out. I think he messaged me, actually. Maybe I should invite Armin Navabi over here and go through all the memes by Iranians. They'll be very, very good. Mechanique Ashhadu Allah, this ummah should all relax and take Eucharist as Surah 5:115 commands them. Even the same admonition Paul uses in there. David, do you know about this? Is it true that the Quran commands people to take the Eucharist?
Well, that passage in the Quran that's about, well, it's Jesus and his disciples, and it's basically a it's basically an massively embellished version of the Last Supper, where Jesus' followers are asking for Allah to send down a table of food and so on. So it's loosely inspired by the Last Supper, but
the table comes down. Yeah, it's based.
Yeah, and so and then Allah warns them they're in trouble if they don't believe him after that.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. That happened to me one day where I asked for a table and it came down from the sky. Very, very strange. But it wasn't the table I asked for, so I didn't really care for it very much. Ari Wasserman said, Candace, why do the Jews need to control the whole world? No honest person could ask that. I got soaked in Khazar spit walking through New York City. What's funny is my weather app knew about it in advance for days. How do you even come up with this? Man. Peace be upon me, said, Mr. Borelli, why is Israel attacking us? It's not fair. The Hadith says we have the right to fight the Jews. Mr. Borelli, why? I need to watch some of that Mr. Borelli stuff again to get into the mood of it. Cars in death. Iran threatened to attack Israel on Tisha B'Av, Jewish fast day. I thought they were anti-Zionist, not anti-Jewish. Yeah. We will never figure out this mystery. I think the world will never know, and we will never understand why Islamists seem to, in their actions look like they hate Jews, when in fact, in reality, of course, their problem is only with Zionism. We will never know. We will never understand this. We will never, even when they say Khaybar, Khaybar, ya Yahud, or when they say you will hide behind rocks and trees, but we will still come and kill you. This is obviously anti-Zionist sentiment. I'm not sure why it sometimes looks like they're anti-Jewish. It doesn't make any sense. They're totally not anti-Jewish. They're totally pro-human rights. Infidel Noodle, do we ever plan on visiting the West Bank? Absolutely. Absolutely. Once it is part of Israel, and Israel annexes it and calls it Judea and Samaria, I will totally visit it.
I've been to the West Bank. I've been to Bethlehem.
West Bank.
Yeah. There's a travel warning now for U.S. people from the U.S. They warn you now if you're going on a trip, because you can go there. They say don't. They say don't, because there are lots of people there still who want to take hostages and so on.
West Bank. Yeah, I will wait until it is part of Israel. It is Judea and Samaria, districts of Israel, then I can go and visit. It'll probably be better.
I wanted to go there and go to one of the 4-star hotels and make a video titled I spent the day in the world's largest open air prison. But like be at like a 4-star hotel and be eating a filet mignon and all that stuff, sipping on champagne and so on in this the world's largest open air prison.
I'll be there in a few weeks. Oh, you're going there in a few weeks? That's pretty based. You should probably be careful going there. Pants schmance. Oh,
yeah. Infidel Noodle. I hope if you're going to the West Bank, hope you're there with plenty of security, because we'd be in danger even if they didn't recognize us. We would be in danger just by being not from there, and they might want to take hostages. But if they were to take hostages, it would be different. It would be different taking a woman than taking a man hostage.
Just go there and rent a car, rent an expensive car. You will fit right in with the poor guys.
And if anyone bothers you while you're there, just tell them D1 and AP. They'll leave you alone.
Yeah. Pants schmans. Oh, you who believe from among the Shia, the end will come soon. Mahdi is ready and needs funds for armament. Please remit payments to Pants schmans. Mahdi is totally not fake, ambassador. You heard it there. You heard it here first. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Aquarius said, do you guys like Trump? I don't know why you're asking this question here.
I like certain things about Trump. If you're saying, would he be? What do you,
if I was
like him as president? I've said before, I prefer people that both sides can at least respect. Like, even if your guy loses, then you still at least respect the other guy. However, I'm thinking that we can't have that anymore. In other words, we may be at a point in history where we can't have, because things are so divided, that you can't have a leader who will be respected basically by both sides. We may be past that point in history. So it may be just whoever gets their guy in there, that's the guy you have. And so, yep.
I would say if I was on an island, desperate, without any way to get out of there, and I was alone with Donald Trump, and things, we had to get into survival mode, and things would get serious. I would probably like Trump, I would probably eat him. I don't know, but that's a different question, of course. When it comes to politics, that's a different story. I don't know. Grant Lord Kaching said, I believe in a two-state solution. We should keep the current Israeli borders as is and then take the Gaza Strip and West Bank and make them Israel too. Hey, this is a good idea. Huh. Yeah.
So like a second Israel?
Yeah, like Israel
Okay.
2.
Israel 2. Yeah, just use the number 2 then.
Yeah. It's going to be Israel 2.
Or spell it like that. You know how some part 2s of movies, they'll call it like Teen Wolf 2. They'll spell it T-O-O. So you could do that with Israel. Have Israel. Hey, one you could call Israel 1, but spell it W-O-N. And then the other place you could call Israel 2, but spell it T-O-O.
Alhamdulillah.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool for maps.
Alhamdulillah.
And I don't mean minor attractive persons. I don't mean the maps like Daniel Hakikachu.
You have to clarify that always. Suzanne Morales said, how would AP and David define what a woman is given their different worldviews? I would say that, of course, women are those that have zabubas and not zabibas.
Yeah, and I would say I would go with some standard definition like adult female human being or something like that. But the issue that arises is you have genetic abnormalities and so on.
But what if she has a zabiba?
Well, that's true. So anyway, there are situations where you have to say, here is the normal version of this, but there are deviations from that norm. And so what do you do with the deviations? Like you could say a normal human being has 2 arms and 2 legs and so on. 10 fingers, 10 toes. Guess what? You're still a human being if you don't have toes, or if you're born with extra toes or something like that. So you have to, I don't know, you have to say, here's the normal, and there are deviations, and there comes a point where you say, okay, at what point does a deviation mean that this person can't beat the crap out of someone who doesn't have that deviation?
Daryl one said Trump doesn't do enough indoctrination of children for AP's taste. This is one aspect of it. I wouldn't say this is the major reason, but this is only one aspect why I don't like Trump. I think he needs to indoctrinate children more. Yeah, and there's also he talks and he's funny and all that, but why does he never cackle? Why does he never cackle like Kamala Harris, for example? Like, this is one of the reasons why I want to vote for Kamala Harris. Do you see the value in her cackling and how that makes everything better, and how it actually provides some hope for the society that we are in? We live in a society, and this is something that you need to take into consideration. So, why is Trump not cackling? This is just one of those things. I don't know. Just put it out there. Something to think about for tonight. Mother Queen said, oh my goodness, Indonesian media headlines are unbearable to see nowadays. Ex-Vice President Yusuf K even attending them funeral. Let's read Dawood 2520. David is probably looking this up as we speak, because he's a boss. He's a boss. What does it say, David?
I'm looking it up. Be patient for once in your entire life. The prophet said, when your brethren were smitten at the battle of Uhud, Allah put their spirits in the crops of green birds, green birds, which will go to the rivers of paradise, eat its fruit, and nestle in lamps of gold in the shade of the throne. Then when they experienced the sweetness of their food, drink, and rest, they asked, who will tell our brethren about us, that we are alive in paradise, provided with provision, in order that they might not be disinterested in jihad and recoil in war? Allah Most High said, I shall tell them about you. So Allah sent down, and do not consider those who have been killed in Allah's path, till the end of the verse. So yeah, that is a funny hadith that's talking about a passage of the Quran and explaining the meaning of the verse of the Quran. That you don't talk about people who've been killed as though they are dead. But then it's like, wait, what does Allah do? He turns you into green birds? That's a reward?
Yes.
So that dude's that Haniyeh dude's a green bird right now, probably.
Probably a bunch of dirt now. So, Mosh Cohen said, I saw a couple of shorts from Dawa channels with you both sarcastically saying they spat on us, they chased us, and they added their own words. It's funny. It's funny. Yeah. Yeah. You remember when we went to when we were walking through Israel and they were all spitting on you because you were Christian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. Everywhere I went, it was the same thing.
One day we went outside and it was quite warm and we were getting all wet, and I'm turning to David and I'm like, hey, why is it raining? I thought it's not supposed to rain today. And then we noticed that it's just a bunch of people spitting on us because
they saw my cross.
Yeah.
They saw my cross.
Yeah, and that's what they do over there. Yeah.
That's what they do. It's what they do, just as the gropers.
Yeah. Jack Ray said, tears for cheers. Every Islamist wants to rule the world.
Every Islamist wants to rule the world.
Yeah. You even have weather forecasts in Israel, where because of this, because of the Groiper tradition of Jews spitting on Christians, this is often included in weather forecasts where they show, like today at this particular time there will be a lot of rain because there will be Christians walking through Jerusalem and Jews will be spitting on them, and you can see that on weather forecasts. You can see it on a map actually. Yeah. That's how serious it is, according to the Groipers. Celery Rosencroix, goodness, I wish I got here earlier. It takes way, way too long to edit videos, especially when you have to reshoot. Hope things have been nice. Stop crying about video editing. It's the easiest thing to do in the world. Except for me.
That's why you haven't made a video in like 10 years.
Yeah, Apparatchik, that real Jewish guy in the chat, says, what is your analysis on the fact that an IRGC unit cooperated with the Israeli intelligence to kill Hamas leader? Could it be Iran government is weak? I do not know. There is information coming in as we speak, and I need to see more on that to make a comment on it.
Yeah, so there's been stuff spreading about this. You don't know if it's true or not until, there's been more analysis and so on. But it wouldn't be surprising. It wouldn't be surprising. If you're part of that group, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, if you're part of that group, you can see the writing on the wall, right? The government is going to fall at some point, or you may not even like Hamas, even though your government's supporting them and so on. So you could be in all kinds of different situations. So anyway, the point is that I would not be surprised at that if it's true.
Alhamdulillah.
And yes, the Iranian government is weak. It's going to collapse. Just a matter of time.
Vitality Vid said, no disrespect, but I would be happy if they could keep Semitic religions and Semitic issues away from the Western world. I must tell you one thing, Vitality Vids. Semitic is refers to languages. So I'm not sure what so you want languages? You want Semitic languages to stay away, or religions with Semitic languages? So do you also want Christianity to then stay away out of the Western world?
Yeah, I do. I want it to just stay over there. I want the entire world to just revolve around my personal preferences, so everyone should just be like I think.
In the Western world over here, we don't want all this Semitic stuff, so keep your Bible out of here.
We don't want them Jews or them Christians over here, except David. He wanted the good ones.
Yeah.
He wanted them good ones. He can stay.
This comment is so dumb, I don't even get it. This comment is like the dumbest thing I've read today. I don't know. No disrespect, Vitality Vids. But it's so dumb. It is the dumbest thing I've read today. It might be the dumbest thing I've read the whole week. Could be going for the dumbest thing I've read all month. But I'm just pointing that out. So no disrespect.
I think everyone who doesn't agree with me should pack their bags and go somewhere else.
Yeah. Keep your Bible out of here. This Semitic religion.
All we want now is Richard Dawkins.
I don't want none of that Semitic religion. No disrespect, Vitality. It's just pointing this out. Yeah. No disrespect. David say no disrespect. So
no disrespect at all. So just when AP says that was possibly the dumbest thing he's read all week, there was no disrespect intended for that.
No, none.
What he said about your insanely stupid comment.
Yeah, no disrespect. Jingoistic Pig says, search Robin Williams Jihad on YouTube in less than 2 minutes. David is going to do that, and he's probably going to review that tomorrow on his live stream. So there you go. Cult Waraith said, I found a novel about a gay furry Muslim immigrant. Gay pig and gay vid should hand these out for Dawa. It's called In This Time by Kyle Gould. That sounds similar to your name, Kyle. It's kind of funny.
That's Kyle.
Oh, yeah. You're Kyle. Kyle.
Yeah, not Kyle.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I don't know why I referred to you as Kyle today. I thought kind of David and Kyle sound similar, so not sure how I came up with that. No disrespect, David. Mush Cohen said, I did beat her. I did beat her. Oh, hi, Aisha. All right. Anything else you want to add before we leave?
Oh, no.
No?
Except that we'll be back. Except that we'll be back tomorrow.
There will be blood tomorrow. There will be blood.
It'll be dope. Right? Got another super chat there.
What super chat? Stop making super chats, man. No
Here
disrespect.
No
disrespect, but keep your super chats out of here.
Keep your.
I know. I was thinking of the same thing. Yeah.
You sick in the mind?
Kiran Kumar said, hats off to your courage and moral clarity. Take care and keep safe from the craziness around. I'm not sure how you can call it moral clarity when I am just with a straight face joking throughout the whole live stream. And you can hardly tell when I'm serious and when I'm not.
That's true.
That's kind of offensive.
That's
honestly.
what they do.
No disrespect. But thank you for this. Thank you for that. I appreciate it, Kiran. I appreciate it very much. And I will strive to be the very best. Like no one else. Like no one. And I want to catch them all. David doesn't get the reference at all. This is Pokemon, David. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. We will be back today with David on David's channel.
Today?
Tomorrow.
It's his third language, people. Cut him some slack. Think he's gonna remember the difference between today and tomorrow? Those sound exactly that. If you're German Turkish, those words sound exactly the same in some other language.
We will be back tomorrow on David's channel with some David Wood stuff. So I'll see you again tomorrow. And stay away with all them Semitic religion and all the Bible and Christianity and Judaism and all that in the Western world. We don't want that here. As Vitality Vid said. No disrespect to Vitality Vids. All right, thanks everybody for watching. Just a Dude says, I must remind you, Daniel wants to peek at you. Yes, have a fantastic day.
There should be a little cartoon.
Yeah.
Hi, little girl. I'm Daniel. I'll peek at you.
Yeah. Ado's channel said Free Palestine. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but Palestine is Israel. So soon it will probably all be Israel from the river to the sea because the other side just doesn't want to make peace. So good luck in the future. And I hope Israel, all the best to Israel. And especially for those who get angry whenever they hear this, I want to say again, victory and greatness to Israel. Israel totally deserves it. Fantastic place, fantastic people, very, very based. I wish them all the best. And for a future where Islamists no longer exist and where we have freedom and human rights and Israel. Thanks. And as always, stay away from Islam. That's funny. I could change that. Assalamu alaikum to stay away from Islam. So, or let me have this guy say,
you sick in the mind?
Oh, wait, well, wrong clip.
You sick in the mind? Are you that mentally enslaved and intellectually subservient and intellectually molested and ideologically molested?
Stay away from Islam.